Hi everyone and welcome to class today. Today let's flow through a lot of back bending pose and review our flip grip and see if you make a progress compared to last time you did it. So we're going to have a strap with you and a pillow because we're going to do some back bend poses with your knees on the floor. So we can use this pillow to support your knees. Let's start on the floor and sit up straight. Close your eyes and do some very big deep breath here. Let's inhale deeply and exhale completely. Inhale, and next time you exhale you can block your tongue toward the back side of your throat for Ujjayi breath. Try to make your breath slower and deeper as you inhale and make the exhale very long. Start finding calm inside your body and turning the attention inside to focus into your body. Keep your face calm and keep your neck long and relaxed. For one more breath, then let's slowly move from your neck. Turn your head around in circle. Keep on breathing. And start listening to your body to see if you feel tension on your neck. Then let's rotate your head to the other direction. Turn your head around, make a very big circle. And then for one more round. And then come back to the center. Bring your head on the top of your spine. Hold your hands into your knees. Inhale, raise your chest forward. Bring your face up. And exhale, round yourself, chin to your chest. Push your chest back and your belly back. Inhale, raise your heart up. And exhale, round yourself. Try to make your spine move like water. So feel like there's nothing to stop you. You just keep moving as much as your body allows you to. One more breath as you inhale, raise your chest up, bring your arms over your head. And exhale, bend your elbows, bring them behind you. Inhale up and exhale down. And then one more time, let's inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, bring your arms down, interlace your fingers behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift your chest up. And exhale, lift your hands up really high. Inhale for one more time, chest up. And exhale, hands even further and further away from you. Then let's slowly release your hand round yourself and put your hands in front of you. Move yourself into table pose. Let's inhale to cow pose and exhale to cat pose. Inhale cow and exhale cat. Come back to neutral spine. Inhale in neutral and exhale, bring your head and your hips to the left side. Inhale center and exhale head and hips to the right. A few more breaths like that. One more round. And then let's come back to the center. Let's inhale, bring your right arm up. And exhale, bring your right shoulder down to your left hand. Open your left hand up to the sky. Push your hip toward the right side. So when you look behind you, you don't want to see your hip. You try to keep your hip away from you. Lift your left hand up to the sky as you inhale. Keep your arms straight. And exhale, reaching your hand behind you for the twist. And from here, see if you can maybe lift your left leg up. And maybe you can slowly lift your leg up and raise it up toward the sky. Try to press your right arm down to the floor so that you will not fall back. And then slowly bring your knee down to the floor. Get out of this pose, hand down to the floor. Inhale to cow pose. Lift your left leg up as you inhale and exhale, round yourself, knee toward your face. 2 more times, inhale, cow pose. Legs up and exhale, knee to your face. Lift your left leg up, inhale and exhale, step your left foot forward into Asana. This is a time where you can use your pillow. Inhale, sink your hip low and raise your arms and your chest up. Make sure you're closing your right hip in Asana and don't make the bend go all the way to your spine, lower spine. By lifting your chest up as you inhale and exhale, sink your hip even lower. Start walking your foot forward and move your whole hips forward so that your knee will be stacking right on the top of your ankle. As you inhale and exhale, bring your hands behind you, interlace your finger, bend your elbows slightly and squeeze your elbows toward each other while your thumb is now on your back leg. Keep running your hand along your back leg. As you inhale, lift your chest up very much and exhale, push your hips more even forward. For 1 more breath like this, inhale and exhale. Slowly get out of this pose. Round yourself, bring your hand down to the floor. Bring your back leg up. Plank pose and step your front foot back. You can move the pillow out to the side. Inhale and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to cobra pose or upward facing dog. Chest big. Move your elbows and your shoulders behind you. And exhale, round yourself to downward facing dog. Walk your heel on and off the floor for a while in down dog. And then inhale to plank pose and exhale, bring your knees down to the floor. Inhale, bring your left arm up and exhale, left shoulder on your right hand position. Right hand pointing straight to the sky and push your hips to the right side. So when you look back, you don't want to see your hip. Then you will feel like your right knee, so hard to see which one is left or right in the twisting pose. Yeah, but the leg that you are seeing, you're looking at, it's become lighter. So every time you inhale, reaching your right hand back up higher and exhale, reaching your right hand back and back. Imagine you want to turn your chest up to face the sky. And maybe one day your right hand can be on the floor. Maybe that day never come, but who cares? And then let's slowly see if you can lift the knee that you can see, which is your right knee up. Maybe you can even bring your right leg up too. Press your left arm down to the floor so that you will be balanced. Woo. And then slowly get out of this pose. Bring your hands down to the floor. Inhale to cow pose. Bring your right leg up and exhale, round yourself into cat pose, knee to your face. 2 more times, inhale and exhale. 1 more time, inhale and exhale, round yourself very much. Feel lengthening in your back and step your foot forward. You can use the pillow here for Asana. And then inhale, bring your arms over your head. Close your left hip in. Try not to open your left hip out to the left side at all. When you inhale, raise your chest up and exhale, move your hip more forward. You can start walking your front foot forward and make sure your front knee will be stacking right on the top of your ankle. Inhale and exhale, and then bring your hands behind you. Let's interlace your fingers the abnormal way. Bend your elbows and squeeze your elbows toward each other. So imagine if I look at you from the front, I cannot see your arms because you're hiding them behind you. Put your fingers on top of your back thighs and then inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, slowly move your arms, your hands along your thigh. Still bending your elbows slightly and squeeze your shoulder blades into each other. When you inhale, chest up, and when you exhale, push your hips forward. Start feeling that stretch in the front of your back leg. Inhale, chest up, and exhale, hip forward. And then slowly get out of this pose, round yourself. Bring your arms down to the floor. Tuck your back toes, lift your back, bring your back knee up, move the pillow away. Press through your hands so much that you can round it into mountain climbing pose and then plank pose. From plank chaturanga as you exhale. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Either way, hide your arms behind you again. And exhale, round yourself to downward facing dog. Walking your heels on and off the floor. Move your hips from side to side. Move any way. You can just think of any movement you can do here in down dog. Maybe you move your head, move your spine, move your legs, move even your arms. You can do anything you want here. Find more space in the back side of your body. And then let's bring your elbows down to the floor. So see if you can do that pose that is they call it turbo dog. Bending both of your elbows and bring them down to the floor at the same time. Or you can just bring your knees down to the floor and end up with your forearms on the ground. So now your forearms will be parallel to each other and as wide as your shoulder. From downward facing dog to dolphin pose. Walk your feet a bit closer, bend your knees slightly. And push through your shoulder. So you feel stretching in your shoulder. And try to push through your elbows so much that your head will not end up on the floor. Bring your hips up higher and higher, just like what we did in downward facing dog. And then let's go back to down dog. You can either go from here, press your hands down to the floor so much that your elbows will go off the floor. Or you can just bring your knees down, go up to down dog, and then step your feet forward. Inhale to halfway up. And exhale to forward bend. Chair pose as you inhale. And exhale, slowly stand up. Inhale, give yourself a big back bend. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. Squeeze your belly in as you exhale. And take a few breaths here. As you slowly open your eyes, let's grab the strap with you for the flip grip in dancer pose. Bend your right knee and hold the strap into your right ankle. Hold the strap quite close and see if you can lift your leg up behind you. Bring your hand into your shoulder and bring your elbow in front of you in the flip grip. And then your left hand can join your right hand too. And make sure that you are lifting your leg up really high. So inhale into your lungs, feel how big the front of your body become, and exhale, turn your right hip down toward the floor so that you will not be flipped in your hip. Stay here for a few more breaths and you can walk your hand closer and closer to your foot. It's hard to keep balance here. And notice if you can be any deeper than last time, even just a tiny bit. Kick your leg up really high as you inhale. And exhale, slowly get out of this pose. Bring your hand down to your shoulder. Remove the strap. Put it on the side. Step your right foot back. A long step into high lunge pose. Inhale, bring your arms up to high lunge. And exhale, round your belly. Just like a cat pose. Inhale, arc your spine. And exhale, round your belly. For one more time, inhale, arcing your spine. And exhale, rounding your belly. Bring your hands behind you. Inhale, squeeze your elbows toward each other and then walk your hand along your thigh for the back bend in high lunge. Keep your front knee bent a lot. Maybe move your hand along your thighs deeper and deeper and look at something above and be in front of you. So inhale, chest up high and exhale, squeeze your belly in. Feel the big stretch happening at the front of your shoulder through your chest and then slowly release your hands. Keep your hands interlaced. Inhale and exhale, round yourself. Bring your shoulder down to your knee. Humble warrior pose. This time, let's point your hands right up to the sky. Squeeze your shoulder blade together. And then bring your back foot down to the floor a bit closer. Slowly straighten your front leg into pyramid pose. Let's inhale halfway up. And exhale, go down even deeper. Inhale halfway up. And keep the halfway up here. Keep your hands, bend your front knee, slowly bring your back leg up into warrior 3 with your hands clasping each other. See if you can bend your knees and point your toes with your hands. Maybe you can hook your foot into your hands, or you can just release your hand and hold your foot into a kind of dancer pose with your hands holding your feet. And then slowly release, step your back foot down and open yourself into Warrior 2. Let's open your palms up in Warrior 2. Bend your knee a lot. Open your front knee out and stand wide. And try to push through the outside edge of your back leg. Inhale in Warrior 2 and exhale Reverse Warrior. Inhale Warrior 2 and exhale, bring your hand down to the floor inside your foot. Turn your top hand back and bring it down to the back side of your body. The front hand will be underneath your leg, bounded side angle pose. Inhale, raise your chest up and exhale. Turn your chest more and more toward the sky as you inhale and exhale. Now keep the bound and see if you can slowly straighten your front knee into bounded triangle pose. You don't have to make it completely straight. Just make it as much straight as your body allows you to. And then slowly release your hands. Walk both hands to the right side of your mat. Inhale to halfway up. Point your toes to the same side now. And point your toes inward a little bit. Then exhale, forward bend. 2 more times. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward bend. And then one last time, inhale to halfway up. Exhale, forward bend. Stay here for a while and think of how you want to tilt your tailbone, your sitting bone up to the sky. And you want to point the top of your head down to the floor. Doesn't matter how far you are from the floor. Feel the big stretch in the back side of your legs and in the inner thighs too. Now let's move your hip very tiny to the right, to the left, to the right and to the left to encourage more and more of the stretch inside your inner thighs. And then let's inhale, raise your heart up. Let's point your right toes to the back side of your mat. Put your right hand inside your right toes, your right foot, and raise your arm up into triangle pose. Bring your top arm over your head in triangle and turn your chest more and more to the sky, reaching your top hand very far away from you and feel the big stretch inside of your body. And then let's bring your left hand down to the floor behind you. To the back side of your mat. Put both hands down to the floor. Raise your back heel up this time. Bring your right leg up and then send it up into downward facing dog as you inhale. And then exhale, bend your knee and put your knee outside of your hand into pigeon pose. Let's inhale, hold the floor with only your fingertips. Raise your chest up and exhale, forward bend, lay down to the floor in pigeon. Stay here for a few breaths and feel the big stretch. Feel the stretch in your big glute muscles on the right side now. And now, if you're confused, you are facing the back side of the room, of your mat. Take a few breaths, and whenever you think you can go deeper into the pose, move your whole legs and hips back. Bring your hip a bit closer toward the floor. And then let's slowly get out of this pigeon pose and make it active. So for pigeon, if your hip is not on the floor, you can sit on the pillow or a block that you prepare with you. Hold the floor with only your fingertips and bring one arm up over your head, reaching your hands behind you. Keep your chest and your belly button facing the front of the room and always pressing your right knee down to the floor and always turning your left hip in and press it down to the floor. Maybe you can bring both hands up. So bring your arms over your head, bend your elbows and see if you can bend your back knee. So bend it and imagine you're reaching your hand to your foot and reaching your foot to your hand. Always keep your hips square by turning your left hip in and down toward the floor. Keep reaching. Every time you exhale, bring your hand a bit more and more behind you. Even if you are very far away from your foot, you may not be as far as you thought you would be. And then slowly open your arms, inhale, hands down to the floor. Let's turn yourself to the left side of you, which means where we just face. earlier, and sit down to the floor. So now you're going to have your right knee bent and your left knee straight. Savasana. Remember this pose. Inhale, bring your arms over your head. And exhale, left arm inside your leg, right arm over your head. Whenever you inhale, reaching your hands further and further away from you. And exhale, turning your chest up more and more to the sky. Inhale, lengthen your body. And exhale, lower yourself. Maybe you can hold your toes. That'll be awesome. If you can't hold your toes, maybe you can hold your ankle. If you cannot hold anything, that's fine. Doesn't matter at all. Keep visualizing how you are going to hold your toe maybe sometime. But the most important thing is finding the big stretch, starting from your right hip all over to your right arm on the right side. Keep inhale deeply and exhale. Slowly get out of the pose. Inhale and exhale. Turn your whole body to the straight leg. Maybe you can close your legs a bit into each other. And exhale, forward bend. Hold your foot, hold your ankle, or hold something that you can reach. Think of your chest bone as the middle of your chest. You want to face your chest bone right into your thigh bone. And forward bend. So there's a twist here in the pose. When you inhale, lengthen your whole body. And exhale, find a little bit of depth into the pose. Don't worry if you're very far away from bringing your face to your knee, just like the name of the pose, Savasana. Just keep feeling the stretch on your body. So you should feel the stretch in your hamstring of the straight leg and in the back, and more on your right low back than on your left low back. Take a few breaths here. And exhale. And then let's slowly get out of this pose. So now we're facing the front again. Bend your right knee and put your right foot behind you. Bring your right knee down to the floor and then raise yourself up into a half split pose. Slide your heel away from you. You can hold the floor with your fingertips. You can still bend your knees slightly. Let's inhale, arch your spine, and exhale, round yourself. One more time, inhale. Arch your spine like cow and exhale, round yourself. One last time, inhale, arch your spine and exhale, forward bend. Bring your face very close to your leg. There's a huge stretch in the hamstring right now. And then let's push your hand down through the floor, tuck your back toes down, lift your back knee up and send your front foot back. Maybe you can drag it and lift it up and send it back into downward facing dog. Inhale into plank pose and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog and exhale, downward facing dog. You can always do cobra if up dog feels not so well for your body. And now let's inhale, raise your right leg up and exhale, open your hip to the right side, bend your right knee. The wild thing, going to lower yourself so that your right foot will be on the floor behind you. Raise your right arm up and over your head. Imagine you want to reach your right hand toward your left hand. Raise your chest up so high. If you want to try the transition from the wild thing to wheel pose, lower yourself, bend your knee and bend the other elbow until your right hand will be on the floor. Then you can turn your left hand back so that your hand will be pointing to your feet into wheel pose. Once you're in wheel pose, if you are here, otherwise in wild thing, you're going to push your chest forward so that it's opening through your chest. And to get out of this pose, let's hold only your right hand on the floor. Turn your left hand back. Slowly bring yourself back to side plank. Lift your right leg up and slowly bring your right foot forward next to your left hand. Twisted lunge. Bring your right hand up to the sky. And then slowly stand up into the twisted lunge. Left hand in front of you, right hand behind you. Inhale here and exhale. We're going to stand with your front foot and we're going to change your hand. So bring your left foot forward and hold your right hand into your left foot. We're going to twist to the other side. In hand to big toe twisted. So inhale, become taller and exhale, turn your chest more and more to the side. Keep breathing for one more breath. Inhale, taller from your heel to your head and exhale, turn your whole chest toward the left side of the mat. Then release your leg. Inhale, chair pose. And then exhale, stand up straight, hands in front of your heart. Close your eyes, take a few breaths here. to calm down. And then we're going to find the strap again and do the flip grip dancer pose, the king dancer pose on your left leg. Stand with your right leg, bend your left knee, wear the strap into your left foot. Hold the strap quite close, closer than you were before, and see if you can lift your leg up just like in dancer pose. Bring your hand with your elbows bent to the shoulder and bring your elbow in front of you. The other hand can join too on the strap. Kick your legs up really high, but at the same time turn your left hip in and down to face the floor. Don't let your hip open to the side. Maybe you can walk your hand closer and closer toward your foot. Hug your elbows in toward your head. Inhale deeply to feel the stretch in the front of your body. And exhale, squeeze your belly in to maintain your core strength. And then slowly get out of the pose. So undo the flip grip, move the strap away, and step your left foot back, a long step into high lunge. Inhale, bring your arms up in high lunge. And exhale, round your belly. It's like a core workout, but you're shortening your belly muscles. Inhale, tilt your tailbone back. And exhale, round your belly again. Inhale, tilt your tailbone back. This is pelvic tilt. Remember this. And now pelvic tilting to the back side. For a few times like this, inhale and exhale. Stay here in the exhale, interlace your finger behind you and choose to do it the other direction. Keep your hands, keep your finger on your buttock, maybe on your hips. Bend your elbows slightly and squeeze your elbows behind you. Raise your chest up. Look at something above you and start walking your hand along your thigh. See where is your limit. Stay there and inhale, raise your chest up higher. And exhale, push your hips more and more forward. Be really strong with your front leg, opening your front knee slightly out to maintain the external rotation. Take deep inhale and exhale, squeeze your belly in. Slowly get out of this pose, still keep your hands interlacing. Inhale and exhale, humble warrior, shoulder to your knee. Let's inhale, lift your hands up higher. And exhale, bring your back foot down to the floor, straighten your front leg, pyramid pose. Inhale to halfway up. And exhale, go deeper into pyramid. Inhale to halfway up. And keep the halfway up, bend your front knee and slowly pick your back foot off the floor into warrior 3 with your hands like this. In warrior 3, we're going to bend your back knee and try to point your toes to your hands. Maybe you can catch your hands over your foot in a variation of warrior 3. Otherwise, you can just release your hand and catch your ankle and then slowly get out of the pose, warrior 2. Open your arms out in warrior 2, palms up. Open your knees out wide and pay attention to the back foot. Try to press through the outside of your back foot, turning your thigh bone out. Inhale in warrior 2 and exhale reverse warrior. Inhale warrior 2 and exhale front hand down inside your front foot. Bounded side angle pose. Turn your top hand back and bring it down to your hip and bottom hand underneath your leg. Hold your hand, maybe hold your bottom hand higher and higher toward your wrist of the top hand. Maybe you can even straighten your top arm, but hide your top arm behind you. When you inhale, lengthen through your spine and exhale, turning your chest up to the sky. For one more breath like that, inhale and exhale. See if you can slowly straighten your front leg into bounded triangle pose. Take deep inhale and exhale. For one more breath. And then slowly release your hands. Walk your hands to the left side of your mat and point your toes to the same side. Point your toes inward a little bit so that you will not stand like a letter V. Let's inhale halfway up and exhale forward bend. Inhale halfway up and exhale forward bend. Now I want you to bring your arms down to the floor. Interlace your finger like we do in headstand. And then put your head down to the floor. If you feel like you're so far away from the floor, let's bend your knees, raise your heels up and move your head further away in front of you so you can put your head down to the floor. And now your heels will be already off the floor. Let's raise your hips up so high that there will be only the tips of your toes down to the floor. Everything else lifted from the floor. Press the elbows down. It's a headstand. And maybe if you lift your hips so high, you can bring your feet off the floor. Open your legs really wide and go to a headstand. You can just stay here with your legs out. It's easier to keep balance with your legs out like this. Or you can think of slowly bring your legs together into a straight line. If you feel scared, you don't have to go there. Have great control. I'm going to take a lot of time here for you to do this pose. Keep breathing, and every time you exhale, it's a chance to go deeper into the pose. I will get out of the pose, but you can be there as much as you want. I'm going to wait for you in the halfway up. So I will stay here. You don't have to hurry at all. And once you're done, you can wait here in halfway up, which means your head will be as high or even higher than your heart. Take a few breaths to get out of the headstand. Take a few breaths, or if you're still in headstand, you can join us. The next thing you do is that you're going to point your left toes to the back side of your mat and move your left hand there into triangle pose. You fix the position, the distance between your feet, so that it's a triangle that you can enjoy the stretch but not losing the balance. Bring your top arm over your ear and stretch very much from your finger all the way through your right side to your back foot. Let's inhale one more time, turning your chest to the sky, and exhale, reaching your hand further and further. And then let's bring your hand down to the floor, and then both hands down. Press your hand down to the floor, change your back leg position, and send your front foot back and up into downward facing dog as you inhale. And exhale, bend your knee, put your knee outside of your left hand. Pigeon pose. Ooh. Bring your hip as close to the floor as you can and close your right hip into the floor. Hold the floor with fingertips. Inhale, raise your chest up. And exhale, forward bend. Stay here for a few breaths in forward bend. So now it's stretching you in the buttock part. Maybe to some people, even in the inner thighs too of the front leg. Anytime you feel like you can go deeper into the pose, move your hip back and down toward the floor. Take a few breaths here to get the stretch in resting pigeon pose. And then slowly get out of the pose and into the active version. So if when you're up here, your hips is not touching the floor, you can use a pillow or a block to support you underneath your buttock. Then press your left knee down to the floor and press your right hip down to the floor too for square hip. Maybe you can bring one arm up or even both arms up. Once your arms are here, reaching your hands behind you, it's if you want to find something behind you. And that something is your foot. Let's bend your elbow so that your hand will become closer to your foot already. And then bend your knee. So now your hands and your foot are so close to each other. Keep reaching them to each other and don't open your hip to the right side. That will happen, but you don't let that happen by closing your right hip in. So inhale and exhale. Keep reaching. Maybe you can hold your foot. Maybe you are closer than you thought you would be. Don't look at me. You don't have to look like me. You feel like you and you look like you. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Then slowly get out of this pose. Bring your hands down to the floor. And then turn yourself to the right side. So now go to your right side, which means the side that we just did headstand. You can move the pillow away so that you sit down to the floor. Left knee bend, right knee straight. If you check in with your hips, if you cannot sit with both of your hips on the floor, bring your legs a bit closer. Janu Sirsasana, inhale, arms up. And then exhale, right elbow down inside your leg, left hand reaching to your left toes. Let's inhale, lengthen your whole body, and exhale, turning your chest up to the sky and reaching your hand more and more to your foot. Take a few breaths here. And if you can hold your foot, that's awesome. Hold your foot, or maybe try holding your ankle, and keep turning your chest up. But if you cannot hold your foot yet, imagine, visualize how you're going to hold your foot. You're going to reach there. You're getting closer and closer every day anyway. For one more breath, the most important thing here is the big stretch on your left side. When you inhale, feel that, and exhale, maybe go a bit deeper into the pose. And then inhale, go up straight. Exhale, turn your whole upper body to the straight leg. Maybe close your legs even closer into each other. And then forward bend. Hold anything you can reach on your leg, foot or ankle or under your knee. But think of the chest bone between your chest. I want you to turn it to face your thigh bone. Maybe one day you can stick it down to your thigh bone too. So when you inhale, lengthen your whole body. You can pull with your hands, and exhale, bring your head lower. Think of how you want to bring both elbows toward the floor. If they can touch the floor at the same time, then that's great. You can do that. Otherwise, that's our direction. So you're going to feel the stretch happening in your back, in your right hamstring, and more in your low back on the left than in your low back on the right, because there's a tiny twist in this pose. And then let's slowly get out of the pose. Keep your straight leg, but change your bent knee. Turn your bent knee in and bring your foot out. Hands in front of your mat. We're going to half split pose. So raise yourself up. Put your front heel away from you. You can hold the floor with your fingertips. It's fine if you're bending your front knee slightly, but inhale, make a cow pose, the back bend, and exhale, forward bend. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. And then exhale, forward bend. And then let's tuck your back toes and lift your back knee off the floor. Put your hands down to the floor and see if you can drag your front foot back. If you cannot, drag it anyway to bring it up to the sky into inhale, down dog split. Bring your foot down to the floor. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra pose or up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Now you're going to lift your left leg up as you inhale. Open your hip to the left side, bend your knee, and ready to go to wild thing. So put your foot down to the floor and open your chest up into wild thing. Reaching your hand, your left hand over your head, as if you want to touch your right hand. Inhale deeply. You can stay here. You can get out of the pose and take a rest, or you can move to wheel pose. Bend your elbows very carefully. Put your left hand down to the floor. Your finger pointing to your foot, and change the position of your right hand too, so that you're in wheel pose. Once you're in wheel, you can push your chest through your shoulder. Take deep inhale and feel it stretching so much in the front of your body. And then slowly get out of the pose. So bend your elbows so that you can change your left hand. Lift your right hand. Put your right hand down to the floor. Lift your left hand up. And go to a side plank on your right arm. And let's bring your left foot up. Raise it up high. And step it forward to the same level as your right hand. Let's hold only right fingertips to the floor, so it will not be too much for your right wrist. Twisted lunge. Now make your legs work very strongly so that you can stand up in twisted lunge. And bring your right hand in front of you and left hand behind you. So when you inhale, so tall, and exhale, twist more. For one more breath like that, inhale and exhale. Imagine someone holding your arms and bring them away from each other. And then let's bring your back arm over your head and bring your back leg forward. Hold your left hand to your right foot. Twisted, standing hand to big toes. You're going to inhale and being tall from your heel to your head. And exhale, straightening your leg, reaching your arm behind you. Bring the whole chest to the side. For one more breath, inhale taller. And exhale, twist more. Release your foot, chair pose. Tighten your belly in as you inhale. And exhale, stand up straight, hands in front of your heart. Close your eyes. And take a lot of breath here. It was such a long and difficult pose. Flow. If you need to drink some water, go find some water to drink. If you feel so tired, you know that my whole leg is shaking. And I feel so much blood pumping everywhere in my legs. If you feel tired in your wrist, do gentle movement with your wrist. You can shake your hands gently. You can make waves or rotate in your hands. Now let's slowly open your eyes and inhale, bring your arms over your head. Give yourself a big back bend, and I guess you can do it much bigger than previous because you have unlocked a lot in your spine. Inhale, coming back to the center, and exhale, forward bend. Halfway up as you inhale, and exhale, forward bend. Step your right foot back, the long step, and then bring your right knee down to the floor. Let's support your knee with the pillow. Bring your right knee down. Keep your right hand down to the floor and bring your left foot to the left side of your mat. Lizard pose. Let's bring your left hand up as you inhale and exhale. Bend your knee and try to touch your knee to your buttock. Let's inhale, hand up, foot down, and exhale, hand reaching to your foot, foot reaching to your hand. Maybe you can hold your heel. And then one more time, inhale, reaching your hand more and more in front of you. And exhale, this time, actually hold your foot. If you cannot find your foot, you can use a strap. But I guess you could find the foot for now. Okay, and once you hold the foot, pull your heel toward your buttock and bring your hip lower and lower toward the floor. Take a deep inhale and feel the stretch happening right at the front of your right hip. And feel how your thigh bone, this exact part, is on the floor and not the inside of your knee. Inhale and exhale, turning your chest even more to the back side. Maybe you can look at your foot. You can see it here. And then slowly get out of the pose. Bring your hands down inside your foot and bring your back knee up. Straighten your knee, hold the floor with all your fingertips and straighten your front leg into pyramid pose. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. And then bring your front foot to between your hands. Let's keep only your heel on the floor. And let's try Hanumanasana from here. So it's crazy, right? But let's move your heel away and away from you. Go as slow as you can. Maybe you cannot... maybe you can bring your back knee down to the floor. And inhale, lift your chest up. Stay here for a few breaths. If you can go further, do that. Maybe you're very far away from the floor. That's fine. That's your Hanumanasana for now. You don't have to look like me at all. You can be lower than me or higher than me. Maybe you can even walk your hand toward your hips and raise your chest up more. Point your front toes toward your face. And notice that the kneecap is turning up and not turning in or out. And then let's bring your hand back. Put your hands down to the floor. Bend your knee. Start moving your front heel back. And send it back to put it on the pillow. Raise yourself up. As you inhale, bring your arms over your head. And exhale, round yourself. Bring your hands in front of you as if you're holding a ball. You're going to do camel pose from here. So holding your hands into your sacrum, the flat bone behind you. Squeezing your elbows toward each other, raise your chest up. Again, if I stand in front of you, I cannot see your arms because you're hiding them behind you. Push your hips down and raise your chest up. Look at something in front of you and higher than you. So you don't let go of your head because it's scary. Maybe you cannot get out of it. If you feel very confident, if you feel like you're low enough, you can start walking your hand lower and lower to your buttock and then maybe to your ankle. Once your hand is in your ankle, Continuing lifting your chest up and pushing your hips forward. You have a choice. If you are not scared, you can let go of your head, or you can just keep looking forward and up. It feels a bit tired for your neck, but it's building up the strength for the front of your neck. Keep inhale deeply and exhale, squeezing your belly in to get out of camel pose. We're going to walk your hands back into your buttock, into your sacrum, and then round your belly to get out of the pose. Round yourself, hands in front of you. Bring your knees up to your arms, crow pose. Just stay here in crow for the sake of lengthening your back. You don't have to go to fly at all, but if you want to, probably you can fly now. You can fly up to crow pose. And then bring your feet back, walk your hands forward, downward facing dog as you exhale. Stay for a while in down dog. Lift your hips up higher and higher, walking your heels on and off the floor, moving your hips from side to side. And always notice your hands. If your hands still have the habit of lifting the inside of your hands up, press them back down to the floor. Then inhale, bring your right leg up. Let's bend your right knee, open your hip to the right side. Wild thing again. Open your arms up over your head. If you want to, you can go to wheel pose, but it's optional. And then let's bring your right hand up to the sky. Side plank. Slowly lift your right foot up. And then bring your foot toward the front of your mat next to your hand. Bring your back foot down, knee down to the floor, Anjaneyasana as you inhale. And exhale. Bend your elbows, bend your knees, and keep holding your hand toward your foot. And then slowly get out of this pose. Let's find the strap and make it happen. The flip grip in Anjaneyasana. We're going to need the pillow here because it's painful if you cross your foot down to the floor, and always close your left hip in. So let's hold the strap with your left hand and then bring your elbow over you. Bring both hands into the strap and keep your elbows hugging into your head. When you inhale, move your chest forward, and exhale. Maybe walk your hand a bit further, or just stay here and maintain the balance you have here. That's good enough. But always turning your left hip in so that your hip will be square, and the kneecap and the thigh bone will be what touching the floor right now. Slide the strap to get out of the pose. Okay, slowly bring your back leg up. Start strengthening your front knee into pyramid. Inhale, chest up, and exhale, forward bend. Stay here in pyramid pose, lengthening in the back. You can bend your knee a little bit and bring your head lower and lower toward your ankle. And then let's walk your hands forward to the same level as your front foot. Kick your back leg up into standing split. Lower your head. Bring your back leg up higher and higher. Inhale into halfway up, and exhale, step your foot down to the floor. Slowly stand up as you inhale, bring your arms over your head, and exhale, squeeze your belly in, hands in front of your heart. A few breaths here in Tadasana, the mountain pose. Slow down with your breath. If you feel very tired and hot, know that I feel the same. And every time you exhale, squeeze your belly in to tell it to protect your spine. Slowly open your eyes. Let's inhale, bring your arms up, and exhale, back bend. Try to lift your chest up so the bend will not be in your lower back. It will be on your upper back. Inhale deeply, and exhale, slowly come back to the center, straight. Inhale and straight. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward bend. Step your left foot back, a long step. Bring your left knee down to the floor, left hand down to the floor. Let's move your right foot to the right side of the mat, and then bring your right arm up into twist. Now let's prepare your back leg. And you inhale, bend your knee and reach your hand toward your foot. And exhale, bring your arms up again, maybe over your head. 2 more times. When you inhale, reaching your hand to your foot. Maybe you can touch your foot here and then let go. And then the next time, you can hold the foot here eventually. You can even look back and see your foot. And make sure that it's the top of your thigh, it's the bone that is touching the floor and not the inside of your knee. Pull the heel closer and closer to your buttock and sink your hip lower and lower. Take a deep inhale and exhale, turning your chest back. So maybe now you can see your foot. Ooh. Check in with your foot. Maybe you have never seen this part of your body. This looks quite nice, isn't it? And then let's slowly release your hand. Bring your hand back to the center. Lift your back foot, knee up into pyramid pose. You can hold the floor with your fingertips so that your wrist will not have too much pressure. Inhale to halfway up and exhale, forward bend. One more time. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward bend. And then inhale, halfway up. This time, let's step your front foot to the middle of your hands. We're going to try Hanumanasana. So bring all your front heel down to the floor. Move your front foot away and away from you. Start bringing your legs further and further away from you, from each other. Bring your back knee down to the pillow. And now you're in a kind of Hanumanasana. If you have blocks nearby, you can use them. But I don't prepare blocks for me, so I don't want to reach them right now. If you don't have block, keep holding your fingertips on the floor and think of stretching the hamstring of the front leg. You don't have to straighten any knee at all. Still can bend them lightly. Maybe you can bring your hand a bit closer toward your hips so your body can be a bit more upright. Close your eyes, stay here, and anytime you think you can be a bit more into the pose, do that. Take deep inhale and exhale for a few breaths. And then let's bring your hands down to the floor. Press through your hands, start bending your knees and bring your heel back. And send your front knee back to the same level as your back knee, to the same mat. Raise yourself up. Inhale, bring your arms over your head. And exhale, round yourself into like holding a bowl shape. Let's inhale, bring your arms over your head. And exhale, reaching your right hand to the right heel. Maybe you can look at that. You can look at your hand holding your heel. Left arm over your head. Inhale, slowly come up. And exhale, do the same to the left side. Reaching your hand over your head. Inhale, let's come up. And exhale, do that one more time. Inhale, slowly come up. It's like a camel dance. And exhale, the other side. And then let's slowly get out of the pose. And see if you can hold both of your hands into your heel at the same time. Push your chest up, push your hip forward. Keep looking at something in front of you and up. Take deep inhale. And then this is a hard thing. See if you can do this without holding your heels. So this low, maybe hold your elbows. Whoo. And bring your chest up further and further. This is scary. As you get out of the pose, curl your belly. And then bring your hands down to the floor. Cat pose. Round yourself. Inhale, cow, very gentle cow. And exhale, cat. Big cat. Inhale, gentle cow. And exhale, big cat. Then let's keep your hands on the floor. Lift your knees up. Bring your knees to your forearms. Bring your knees to your arms. Crow pose. You can just stay in the crow pose shape. Pushing your belly up. So that you can stretch the low back. Or you can really fly. And then let's go out of the pose. Downward facing dog as you exhale. In down dog, stay for a few breaths. Move your hips from side to side. Move your legs a lot. Move any way you want. The only attention is keep your hands down to the floor. Don't lift any part of your hands up. And then let's inhale, bring your left leg up, open your hip, bring your left foot down to the floor, into wild thing. Optional, go to wheel pose, only if you're confident about that. I'm going to wait for you in wild thing. And from wheel pose, go back to wild thing slowly. Next thing is side plank. Bring your top leg, which means your left leg up, and slowly put it into the front of your mat. Ooh. Bring your back knee down to the floor again. And then inhale, Anjali Asana pose. Bring your arms over your head as you inhale. And exhale, bend your back knee, reaching your hand to your foot, reaching your foot to your hand. Maybe one day you suddenly hold them. You never know. But the important thing is to close your right hip in, square hip. And then let's really make it happen by the strap. Wear the strap into your right foot. Do the flip grip and stay here for a few breaths. This is hard. One attention, closing your right hip in. Don't let the inside of your right knee be the thing that touches the floor. And you can always walk your hand closer every time you exhale. Whoo. And to get out of the pose, just slide the strap. Hands down to the floor, pyramid pose. Inhale halfway up and exhale forward bend. It's fine if you bend your front knee slightly. Stay here for a few breaths and feel how it's stretching you gently in the back. Then let's inhale halfway up. Walk your hands a little bit forward. Bring your head down and raise your back leg up, standing split. Stay here for a few breaths. And then let's step your foot down to the floor. Sit down into Malasana. Into yogi squat. Bring your feet out, hands in front of your heart. Bring your hips really low and raise your chest up high. Feel it lengthening in your lower back. If you're not used to squat, I suggest you sit on the block underneath your buttock and calm down with your breath. Now we're going to try King Pigeon. That is with your flip grip in the Pigeon pose. So let's bring your hand down to the floor and bring your right leg to the front of your mat and you send your left leg back in Pigeon pose. Support something underneath your right hip so that you can sit stably here. Maybe you need some thicker pillow than I do. Try to press your thigh down to the floor and press your left hip down toward the floor. So some question here, should we keep the shin bone like this or should we keep it like parallel to the side of the mat, like here? Well, it depends on the how much you can externally rotate in your thigh. So if you're quite limited, let's start here first. And when you can externally rotate more and more, remember one leg chair pose, the number 4 we make. If you can do that, then you can try bringing your shin bone parallel to the floor, but it's optional, you know. So if you want to, you can try it. And the thing is that you don't want to do it to turn from your knee, you want to turn from your hip. So I'm going to stick to this because I know that it's worked for me. All right, you can try it in simple pigeon like this pose. But in King Pigeon, we don't want anything unstable to happen. So let's choose a safe choice with your leg. Find the strap. And now bend your back knee, wear the strap into your foot. Always turn your left hip in so your whole thigh bone will be sticking down to the floor. And let's do Pigeon pose, King Pigeon pose. Okay. And here, you can do something fancy. You can keep only your left hand here on the strap. Your right hand can be behind you. And maybe if your arm is long or if you're quite open. Also, I mean, if you open in your chest or if your arm happen to be long like my arms, you can hold your other foot and stay here. It's very big chest here, so stay for a few breaths. And the important thing is to always turning your left hip in and raise your chest up, so the stretch, the back bend will not go all the way to your low back. To get out of this pose, you can either unflip or you can just remove the strap. Whew. And now keep your front knee bent. You can still sit on the pillow. Bring your back leg up and put it over your front knee. Put the left foot down to the floor so that your left knee will be close to you. Bring your right arm outside of your leg. Twist. So when you inhale, taller, and exhale, push your arm to your knee for the twist. Twist is a very good counter pose for back bending. So after deep back bend, I suggest you do some twist. Try to keep both hips on the floor or on the pillow. Actually, it's really nice sitting on this pillow because it makes my spine feel straighter and having more space. Whew, and then slowly get out of the pose. And now let's change legs. So it's time for left foot forward and right leg back. So important thing, right hip turning in, left leg pushing in and out, and down and out. And then let's bend your back knee, reaching your hand up, and really make it happen in King Pigeon by using your strap. So wear the strap in, turn your arms, and hold the strap. So once you are stable with your pose, which means your whole thigh bone is facing the floor, it's not like you are turning to the side. Check in with your chest, your belly button, they all face the front. You can hold the strap only with your right hand and bring your left hand behind you. Again, if your chest is really is very stretched, your shoulder open enough, and maybe you happen to have long arm like me. Oh, I cannot reach this foot though. You can hold the front foot. Okay, even if you cannot hold the front foot, bring your arm here and feel the stretch happening at the front of your shoulder. Take a few breaths here. And when you want to get out, choose option, just let go of the strap or unflip the grip out of the pose. Bring your back leg to the front, put your foot outside of your knee. Now you can see your right knee in front of you. Sit down with your right hip. Bring your left arm outside and twist. So inhale longer and exhale, twist. Take a few breaths here. Every time you exhale, push your arm into your leg to twist deeper. Ooh, I'm so hot, I'm so warm all over my body. Back bend is very energizing, very hitting. Slowly get out of the pose. Now let's remove the pillow. Hug your knees into your chest, both pose, holding your big toes here. Raise your chest up and slowly straighten your knee in front of you. It doesn't matter if you can fully straighten them or not. I mean, this is fine. But maybe you can try to straighten your leg, but pull your arms back. Don't be like this, don't make your neck short. Shoulders down, chest up. But don't be rounded in your spine. So try to arc your spine a little bit. If you're rounded, you fall back. Maybe open your legs like a letter V. Slowly. Ooh. And then bend your knees and lay down to the floor, holding the outside of your feet. Some people hate this pose, happy baby. Then you can just hug your knees into your chest. But if you like happy baby, holding your ankle or your feet and pressing your hip down to the floor. The same if you're hugging your knees to the middle of your chest. Press your hips down to the floor. Press your shoulders too, so you feel your back is so big and flat on the ground. Take a few breaths here and maybe move gently from side to side. And then next thing we do is shoulder stand and plow pose. I'm going to prepare the pillow for that because I think it's safe for the neck. If you feel lazy and you're quite confident that you can do it without a pillow, then you don't have to, but I choose to do that here. If you do pillow, make sure the edge of the pillow is on the edge of your shoulder and there's a gap between your neck and the floor. Going to rock yourself and bring your hips up high. Try to squeeze your elbows toward each other. Woohoo! What's wrong with my pose today? Pillow is... Okay, now. Right. Go up. And then maybe bring your knees to your head first. Squeeze your elbows toward each other. And then you can think of straightening your leg. Whew. Okay, shoulder stand. So if you want to be straighter, walk your hand down toward your middle back and upper back. Don't hold your hand at your hips. So you push your hips up higher and become straighter, squeezing your elbows in all the time. And for plow pose, one knee and then both knee down to your forehead, one foot down to find the floor, and the other foot into plow pose. Always support your hands into your back. And feel how your chest is very close to your chin. Keep breathing. To me, I'm very tight in the upper back, so I need this pillow for more space. If you don't have pillow, always squeeze your elbows in. My voice sounds funny. So that what is touching the floor is the muscles on your upper back and not your neck. And then to get out of this pose, bend your knees again. You can stay here as much as you want, but to get out of this pose, bend your knee and walk your hands to your buttock. Slowly come back to the floor and into Savasana. Whew, it's well earned. You can throw your arms and your legs everywhere in the space. Bring your joints away from each other. I feel like I don't have to guide myself through relaxation because it's so well earned after we have been through so much flowing, squeezing, backbending. It's all very, very energetic yoga poses that burnt out your electricity. So now recharge yourself in Savasana. Think of how did you enjoy your spine. Even if some pose maybe you didn't do or didn't do completely. Think of how fluid, how smooth your spine has become. I love backbend. Many people say that backbending is rejuvenile. Means make you younger, make you anti-aging. And I didn't think there was any science to back that up, but actually there is. The spine is the most vital part of our body. I mean, one of the most. And if it's healthy and strong, you'll be healthy and strong too. Think of how in all the movement in your spine, you unlock a lot of things around your spine too. And the spine is also connected to your shoulders and your hips. You also find out more space in these areas, which means almost all over your body. Now let's take a deep inhale and send all the gratitude and love to your spine. You can visualize how there are flowers blooming around your spine, so beautifully. So much youth. You can visualize how the fountain of youth is flowing inside your spine, following your spine through everywhere in your body. And please take as long of a Savasana as you want. Well, I'm going to get out of this pose. And finish the class. I feel like no massage can give me this feeling when I do a lot of twisting and back bending. And I hope you feel the same. Thank you very much and Namaste.